Metroid Dread. We waited 19 years for this sequel to Metroid Fusion. Does it live up to the hype? A little disclaimer, this is going to be a review that most likely spoilers will be talked about, so if you still want to enjoy Metroid Dread completely blind, I recommend clicking out of the video now, just in case. Come back another time once you beat the game. If you don't care, stick around. And also, this is my first review. I'm just going in it blind. I didn't want to really copy off anybody's formula because I just wanted to speak to the heart, just because waiting for this game for like 19 years, and I'm just gonna say what I think Metroid should be and how it compares and etc, etc. So let's get right into the review. Metroid Dread starts out with showing Samus's backstory from Metroid Fusion, showing her adventures and how she survived against the SAX and other foes. After that, they got a communication on planet ZDR showing that the X is still alive. Now, if you don't know what the X is, it's basically an organism that whatever organic organism it touches, it becomes that organism and copies literally everything about it. The only person that can really fight it or even touch it without dying is Samus, because of the Metroid vaccine that she received in Metroid Fusion. So because of this, and also because they lost all communication with the Emmys, they send Samus to planet ZDR for her to investigate and see what's going on, and to exterminate the X if possible. Talking about the rest of the story, once you enter the planet, Samus encounters Ravenbeak. Ravenbeak just starts going ham on Samus, trying to exterminate her, kill her, whatever you want to say, just ASAP with his hyper beam-ish beam. Samus tries to fight, but to no avail, because whatever Ravenbeak has, she can't do anything against. Once it seems like Samus is about to die, something goes on with her body, and later it cuts to her on the floor with her base power suit. And then we talk to Adam. Adam doesn't know why we reverted. It's back to the original state. Doesn't know why Ravenbeak spared her. And that's another part of the story that we gotta find out. As we continue on with the story, of course, we find the Emmys, but we find out that now all of a sudden they're trying to kill Samus, which is strange. That's probably another video I should talk about. I feel like the Galactic. Find out later that a Chozo named Silent Robe, or as the community calls it,
it's Flattig!
The Silent Robe has been the one controlling the Emmys because he's forced by Ravenbeak, or else Ravenbeak is going to kill him. The Silent Robe talks to Samus and tells her that Ravenbeak at first was trying to rule the galaxy using the power of the Metroids. He didn't want the Metroids to die out, but while Silent Robe's clan, they wanted to kill the Metroids and exterminate them for good, knowing that they can cause harm to the galaxy. So what does Ravenbeak do? Kill all of Silent Robe's clan, besides Silent Robe. The Silent Robe's the only one that can control Metroids. And basically Silent Robe is telling Samus that, Samus, you're the one who thwarted his plans by exterminating all the Metroids in Metroid 2, and saying that his plans have been foiled, but he says, well, actually, now, then he says, listen carefully, Samus. He's trying to use the Emmys to extract the Metroid DNA in your body. Now, for me personally, that was like a mind-blowing, like, I should have been kind of obvious, but I was like, oh shit, that's why these Emmys are trying to come after you, yo. I was already kind of shocked. I'm like, oh fuck, well, that makes sense. And then, oh my god, yo, I went crazy. Like, I might just put the clip right. Oh, that makes sense.
They had Samus talk! Chozo! Ah!
I was just like, okay, but pretty much what happens, either I'm gonna put the clip or whatever. Samus starts talking Chozo. Like, if we're not gonna count other M, I know people are gonna argue, another spoiler, you should cut ahead like 10 seconds or something. People are arguing that other M is canon now because if you play the game, if you beat it, you get these really cool ending cutscene art scenes at the end, and it shows other M. For me, I'm just gonna say it's not canon, just because the directors haven't said anything about it. But if we're not gonna count other M, we have never ever heard Samus talk. Not even just regular English, never. Not in Zero Mission, not in Metroid 2, not in Samus Returns, not in Super Metroid, not in Metroid Fusion. Well, they had text speech for Samus, but not like, you know, an actual voice. So this is big. Like, they really took a risk here because Samus is a silent protagonist, a really popular silent protagonist, and they took the risk to make her speak. And even though it's not English, it's still speaking. So, yeah, hold on. Nikki Garcia at Nikki Garcia _ES at Twitter. She's the one that voiced Samus, and man, I honestly think it wouldn't have been as good without her doing such a wonderful job. Honestly, I'm not just saying this because she reacted to my clip and said it's really nice, but man, Nikki Garcia really killed it there, really brought Samus to life and really made Chozo really like natural, and it was a really high moment for the whole community. And I think it was really good plot point, good thing to show for Metroid Dread, because it shows that Samus has some humanity. Like, she's not just gonna talk to a fellow Chozo and just be like, shake her head. Like, it's big. She basically opened a part of herself that she couldn't really do anymore because, well, all of her Chozo family is dead. Excuse me, unless we're gonna talk about the manga, where I think I forgot the guy's name, but basically one of the Chozo that raised her escaped with other Chozo somewhere. We still haven't seen them. But I'm getting a little sidetracked a little bit, you know, man. That's why this game is so much fun, man. It's so amazing. But yeah, that happens. Like, that's a really good way to show Samus' character. Like, jeez. So they made her talk. It was amazing. Silent Robe, you know, is happy, tells her how to advance, how to get to the next area, and says that he shuts down all the Emmys. And then, unfortunately, even though I already grew attached to Silent Robe really fast, he gets killed. And Samus gets angry, and we fight, you know, the assassinator. After we kill the person that killed Silent Robe, Samus looks at Silent Robe, and then we can't see through her visor, but I think that symbolizes her being angry, grieving, you know. But as the best bounty hunter in the universe, she has to keep her cool, and that's what I like about that Retro Studios did well. They really executed her character phenomenally. Like, it's insane, because that's exactly how I think Samus would handle that situation. She wouldn't start crying. You wouldn't start saying things like, oh, these motherfuckers, or oh man, like, you know, yeah. I'm basically talking about how other M, every time something happens, that version of Samus, I don't, what, Team Ninja, that whole team, they really trying to make her more quote unquote human. But they really just made a whole entirely different Samus. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, I feel like that's like the main problem that most of the community has with that game. But basically, Retro Studios did it right. They played her characterization right. They showed her visor without showing her eyes, basically meaning that she's mad and she's grieving, and, you know, she wants to get payback, but, you know, she has to focus on her task. She can't let her emotions. So after that, I probably mentioned this out of order, but then of course we meet, it's not Kraid. I don't think it's Kraid. I think it's just a species that's just like Kraid, and it's just very hostile. So we meet a Kraid-like being. Samus is just really cold, just shoots it right away. We fight it, and, you know, when Samus is killing it, she just exterminates it as a bounty hunter with really professionalism and really fast. And I think that's basically how she would do it. I think that's perfect for her character, and that matches her story. She's the best bounty hunter in the universe. She's not just going to talk it out or something, you know. And basically after that, I'm gonna probably skip a lot in the story. But Samus releases the X into the planet. Well, apparently, Adam says it's Raven's Beak doing, but it really seems like when we play the game, maybe they could have showed that better. When we play the game, it looks like we're the one that released the X because we opened that door. But honestly, this probably is Raven Beak's doing, because when the door first opened, the X didn't escape. So I honestly think it's not our fault, even though I was like, wait, it's not our fault, like, because it doesn't affect us. So of course, why would we not give a fuck about releasing the X, right? Samus will just absorb it, you know, blah, blah, get like health, get missiles, whatever. So the X get released and we go to another area, but we see that that Silent Robe gets. Oh, I forgot to mention one more thing. That right before the Samus met Silent Robe, just like in the beginning when she fought Raven Beak, it shows a red flash around her arm. Some kind of something that's going on with Samus throughout the game. Each time that she gets really mad, it seems like she was having flashbacks with the fight against Raven Beak. Either mad or some kind of bloodthirstiness. Now, at that time, I just thought it was her being mad. And then as we keep going through the game, progressing, I'm probably gonna skip a good chunk of it. Samus encounters this wild enemy, and you know, it's an enemy she could easily defeat by just using her beam. This wild enemy, and you know, it's an enemy she could easily defeat by just using her beam. She counters it, but then she feels bloodthirsty, and it looks like she's gonna like try to tear its face out. And then she's really conflicted about what to do, and she just looks at herself, and the enemy charges at her, and she just decides just to shoot it like normal. Now she doesn't know what to do, and we see that Raven Beak has been watching her this whole time, observing. Now we still don't know why, and we don't know what's wrong with Samus at all. I didn't have no idea. I just thought maybe, I mean, well, obviously it has something to do with her DNA, maybe. Because all these problems, well, we never saw anything in Metroid Fusion. But it makes sense that the Metroid DNA would change something about her if she's had it all this time. So moving on, we go to another area. And it's like an Emmy zone, it's like one of the last ones. All of a sudden Samus gets attacked. She looks like it's a power bomb. And that's like one of the last abilities she's missing at that time. And then so at this time, Samus has already enough experience with the Emmys. So Samus counters the Emmy, and she's probably gonna go find the Emmy core to, you know, beat it. But then she gets that same feeling, that same aura, that bloodthirsty feeling. And this time it's so strong she can't stop focusing on it. And then she doesn't even notice that the Emmy's approaching her. And she's almost too late. And the Emmy tries to extract the DNA from her, but she has that red aura and grabs the Emmy's that needle, beak, whatever that, I'll just call it its DNA extractor. She grabs the DNA extractor, and we see that she's absorbing the Emmy's energy and the Emmy's core energy, or whatever that mother brain lookalike thing is. After, it looks like the Samus has a Metroid's ability to absorb energy, and I guess instead of her being mad about this, she sees it as a benefit of somewhat, because she looks at her hand, the iconic music plays, and then she, you know, clenches her hand together, and she's like, it seems like in a way she's like, this is what I need to defeat Raven Beak. Because I forgot to mention, which I like about Metroid Fusion too, Metroid Fusion constantly states that the SAX, a copy of Samus, is that you can never beat the SAX with your current abilities. You can't beat the SAX. It's only towards the end that it's like, maybe you have a chance against the SAX, but it's still only a very low % chance. You should still be careful. Same thing with Metroid Dread. It really gives you that feeling of dread with the enemies following you, feeling weak. Adam saying from the beginning until basically the end, saying either the enemies are too strong. You only have a 99.9% chance of surviving if an enemy catches you. Same thing with Raven Beak. It's like, if you meet Raven Beak again, you're going to lose. I estimate even you at full power will not be able to defeat Raven Beak. It's like, fuck, Jesus Christ, man. It really gives you that sense of dread. No pun intended. I think that's really what they really want you to feel dread about feeling weak. And I think they really executed that well. So Samus's new ability, she goes up to Ravenbeak. Well, she fights her. She tested out the new power on one of his old commanders that's affected by the X. And she gets her energy back and she absorbs it. So she gets some kind of experience with this power. She goes into this like Saiyan space pod. That's exactly when I saw that. I was like, oh, that looks like Vegeta's space pod. She uses it to go up to Ravenbeak's hidden fucking facility that's in this tower up in the sky. Final boss, obviously, type stuff. Goes inside his facility. And the first thing that happens when it goes in the elevator, it's an Adam robot thing, and it's like Adam saying, oh, it looks like your DNA has made you a Metroid. You are now a Metroid. You're the most dangerous threat to the galaxy. And then Adam saying, you can still help the galaxy. And then you can kind of tell it's not Adam anymore, because it's saying things like, excuse me, like, oh, accept your weakness. Oh, submit to me. Oh, don't try to not listen to me. Accept your destiny. Like stuff Adam would never say. So Samus notices real quick, Samus. We get this plot twist again. And we see there's a flashback of Samus going in the tube getting the DNA for the Chozo. And it isn't just for the Chozo that raised her to get the DNA. It shows Ravenbeak's there too, and he gave his DNA too.
Like, you can't just reveal something like that.
Like, what the hell is the plot twist? Then he says, my daughter. And I was just like, bro.
No,
I was just shaking my head. I was on my stream. I was like, nah, you can't just do that. It was like, I was streaming for like 9 hours straight.
My daughter?
I was just shaking my head. I was on my stream. I was like, nah, you can't just do that. It was like, I was streaming for like 9 hours straight, and I was like, bro. I was like, bro, they can't just hit us with that shit, man. Towards the end of the game and shit. But yeah, so basically, you have this really intense boss fight with Ravenbeak. Super hard. It took me like an hour and a half to figure out what the hell to do. He's basically like a final boss. He has like 3 phases. Jesus. But it was so fun. It was so fun. I would do it again. But I'm getting a little off. I think basically the fight was really fun. Because I'm trying to talk about the story and then a gameplay separately. So it looks like that Samus is about to use her new power to try to absorb Ravenbeak, or to kill him, exterminate, end him for good against this foe, because, well, it's the first foe, well, second foe that we've known in canon that Adam says that Samus has no chance against. But Adam is saying all this stuff saying, well, I don't need you, child, because you know why? I can just clone the most powerful Metroid on Earth. Sorry, the universe. Samus Aran. And it's just like, oh no. And he's like, sleep, child, sleep. And then so Samus's visor slowly turn off. And it really looks like that we lost. Like, they really do a good job. I was held like, no, what are you doing? No! Going crazy. And then, you know, then they do, oh my god, bro, they did so good with this hype up. Like, the controller starts vibrating subtly, and it's like, wait a minute, and it starts panning out, and then it shows Samus's arm turn to like a claw type thing, and then you hear Nikki Garcia, the voice actor Samus, start just screaming. He's like, ah, like a fucking Super Saiyan, like, ah. And basically her whole suit transforms into like a pseudo Metroid suit. Well, it is the Metroid suit. But she goes into full rage mode and she's screaming the whole time, which is crazy because we've never seen that type of like emotion. But that would be the one type of emotion we would see from her, because she's really mad about this guy. Well, at this guy. I'm sorry, but I forgot to even say I got too excited. Like, they showed cuts, they showed flashbacks of her stuff that made her emotional, like Ravenbeak killing the other Chozo, showing Silent Robe on the floor dead. So of course that's what awakened her to get this, you know, new power, this rage. So she goes right away, claws at Ravenbeak, starts absorbing energy from him and the whole facility, the whole ship. So it starts falling down back to the planet. She's screaming the whole time, not letting go, and Ravenbeak can't do anything. It's fucking so satisfying after all the shit he puts you through. It's amazing. I think it's like the best like really satisfying final fight in all the Metroid games, because if we can compare Metroid 1, it's just like, okay, you know, if you don't know the story, you went to the planet to see what's wrong. Ravenbeak just tries to fucking fuck you up, and then you find out that he's been trying to pull all these strings, doing all these things that you didn't know that was going on, messing with your life, killed like the last friendly Chozo. And then just at the end where just Samus transforms and finally claws him and he gets what he deserves and feels pain, it's just like, yes, a fucking awesome climax. Yes, fuck him up. Just, it's amazing. Screen goes black. We see Samus stand up with her new Metroid suit from the back. It looks phenomenal. It looks amazing. I was going crazy. I was like, oh, that looks so good. Then we see that Ravenbeak's still alive. Ravenbeak is still alive. We're like, oh, this little piece. How is he still alive? Rather have a fourth boss fight. I kind of jinxed it. And then, yeah, so a Core X, the same Core X that we didn't absorb from one of these enemies, appears out of nowhere. Not nowhere, but it's flying. And he's like, oh, let me fucking go on this fucking bird guy and just... This is X, but the X goes on Ravenbeak and transforms to like a Kraid slash experiment. I forgot the enemy number, but experiment something, and Ravenbeak and all in one thing. But Samus is so strong that she uses her hyper beam and just basically shoots her for like 10 seconds at this new form and ends Ravenbeak for good. And then she even makes sure to shoots the Core X so that this could never happen again, or the X can never cause trouble again. So then we have your classic. Wouldn't be a Metroid game without the planet fucking exploding, or the facility exploding. You gotta fucking get your ass out of there before 3 minutes. We have that classic sequence run. We go all the way back to the ship, and then Adam tells you, don't touch anything. You're gonna drain the whole ship's battery power. You can't do anything. So we're in a predicament. Now, you may be thinking, well, can't Adam just do some computer shit and just fly us away? That's not how it works. If you played Metroid Fusion, you know that, and that they were in the facility in Metroid Fusion, they never got affected because the X didn't think of them as an organism that was worth copying. So these animals helped Adam move the ship, thanks to Adam's instructions. And so in Metroid Dread, there's no animals there, there's nobody to help. Everything's affected by the X. What can Samus do? Are we doomed to die on this planet? And then, lo and behold, it's Silent Robe. But the infected Silent Robe, the X Silent Robe, he appears behind Samus. Samus is ready to blast him. And we don't know if Silent Robe is hostile. He makes like an expressionless face. And as soon as it seems like Samus is ready to shoot, Silent Robe starts smiling and bows. And he starts deforming back to an X. And then goes towards Samus, so Samus can revert back to her normal suit, so she can leave the planet. A little theory that I'll expand on. I think what happened here is that Silent Robe's genes as a Chozo counteracted the Metroid rage mode, going full like crazy, and she went back to her basic suit. But now I feel like she has the knowledge of the Chozo clan too. But that's just a theory. That's just, you know, that'll be another video. Again, I got a lot of videos to do. But she's back in her suit, and right away, just like fucking Samus, as you think she would, she goes right to her ship, puts in controls, and gets the fuck off that planet. And that's the end of the game, pretty much. You know, really satisfying. I think the story is just phenomenal. They really just hit it like, mwah, chef's kiss. I really feel like it's the best Metroid story ever. Jeez. About the gameplay, at least just a little bit. That might be a whole separate video by itself for me to go in super detail. But the movement in this game, just the movement by itself is leagues above any of the other games. way above. I mean, definitely the NES. Look at that. You walk like Metroid 2. You move a little better, but it's still really blocky. Super Metroid, it's like the game where they really evolved how she walks, and it's really great and all. But if we're looking at it at an age standpoint, did it age well? For most people, it didn't. Metroid Fusion, Metroid Dread, it's just Samus is so smooth. You can just make her do anything, and it's gonna be like not even look like it just like little to no delay. It's like it's as if you're actually moving. Some like a the movement's phenomenal. The abilities are awesome. I mean, the new ability Spider Magnet is really awesome. Makes you feel like you're a Spider-Man, or I guess in this case Spider-Woman, Spider Samus. A speed booster, oh man, as I will always say, any game that has speed booster is automatically one of the S-class tier best Metroid games. And they made the speed booster even better in this game because you can keep the momentum going and wall jump, run around, do anything, like pretty much almost anything if you can find a way to keep it moving to the next area. It's fucking amazing. Like honestly, I've seen so many tweets with the speed booster, just like people like, oh my god, this part was so fun, oh my god, well, etc, like, man. And they even let you speed boost with the morph ball, which has only ever happened in Zero Mission and AM2R, but if we're gonna count just the canon games, Zero Mission. Another thing about the gameplay I really like is like I like how they did the missile aspect mechanic from Metroid Fusion, where if you get super missiles, it just uses one ammo thing, just like Fusion. It just upgrades your regular missiles to super missile. You don't have a separate thing like Super Metroid. I guess that's the only game that's done that. I like how they copied the Metroid Fusion mechanic and they stacked up the super missiles into becoming a regular missile. Like they basically upgraded the regular missiles to super missiles, and then same thing with the ice missile. The super missile became comment down below if I'm mistaken. They added the scatter missile shot from Metroid Prime 2 and Metroid Prime 3, which is like, whoa, they added that into a 2D game? Like that's fucking awesome. Oh, can we talk about the Aeon abilities? That flash shift is like you're like flash step and Bleach, like it's just so fun and you move very fast. It's like, damn, that combined with the speed booster, it's amazing. And then something that really makes stuff easy to find, because I love puzzles, I love hard things, but sometimes it gets frustrating. And that new Aeon ability where you can scan an environment, break hidden blocks to find items, that's really user friendly. That's good for beginners. If people who don't want that, they just can choose not to use the ability. And also it's freedom of choice, not like it's automatically used all the time. I like how they implemented something for new users and even old users to enjoy the invisible Aeon ability you get at the beginning. That's also a really nice one. It's like you can be really stealthy, like you're stealthy Samus. I mean, you can be in front of the enemy without ever getting caught. That's also a nice ability. I think, is there only 3 Aeon abilities? I went in my game real quick. Yeah, there's only 3 Aeon abilities. I don't know why I thought there was 4. I'm tripping. But yeah, I think the Aeon abilities really improve on how fun and how easy and flexible it is to play that game, and it's just amazing. Cause it's something new. I think it's something old and new players can enjoy very equally. And again, it's something basically you can avoid using if you don't like to use it, unless besides certain areas where you need a flash step, flash shift to get through, and use the Phantom Cloak to get through as well. So last thing I'm gonna be talking about, for gameplay at least, is probably the sequence breaking. They stated that they made the game purposely sequence breakable for old and new players to play any way they want. And I thought this was cap. Man, people have found so many ways to play this game from not doing the quote-unquote normal or usual route, and just got items differently out of order, or just skipped items entirely. Like it's amazing. This community is fucking amazing because everybody's so smart. And you know, Retro Studios and Nintendo recognized that, and they made the game purposely for sequence breaking, just like Super Metroid. So applaud to them. Awesome. Okay, last thing for this review. The music. I've seen a lot of people have their gripes about the music in this game. Now, my favorite, I think that's always stuck in my head, is Briania. That's what I always said in my stream, Briania, because people think the songs are lackluster compared to other Metroid games, which I guess I can see. It's not as like hype, you know, just like Super Metroid has the dun 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 dun. Then you have the absolute banger, freaking the super. What was it, that one area in Super Metroid, the jungle. Lower Britain Star, like dun, 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 dun. So I guess, but that's called Super Metroid. You know, you're supposed to feel super, you know, so of course it's gonna have stuff that's gonna make you like really hypey, like yeah. And even like Zero Mission, it's like Zero Mission, the only really hype song they got. Well, man, I really love Kraid's theme, like dun, 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 dun. You know, I'm definitely gonna add these songs here, not just me. But I'm saying, oh, like even Zero Mission, the only other really hype songs after you get the full powered suit, then I have Samus's main theme, like dun, 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 dun. And I think, let's see, if you want to follow that same formula, even Metroid Fusion has that. When Adam tells you like, go ahead, like tells you how to blow up the ship and set a course to blow up on the planet where the X live. Like even Metroid Fusion has that, where once you're at that final part of the stage, that music's constantly playing throughout the whole map, which I actually hate because I really like the unique music in each sector. That's like my only problem with Metroid Fusion. Honestly, I think the music is wonderful. I think all the music matches all the environments. I think they're pretty, you know, yeah, they're not as long or different, but I think they're good enough to make you feel how the environment is. And I think it's good enough. Like, I think it's enough of a vibe to play, you know? This is Metroid Dread. It's not supposed to be Metroid fucking feel awesome, you know? It's literally called Metroid Dread for a reason. The music isn't going to be as happy going as the others. And I get that. And I think that's the direction they're going with. They're really trying to make you feel dread even after you get all upgrades. You just still have that uncertainty. You can beat Raven Beak because Adam tells you repeatedly, like, you're no match for Raven Beak. You're no match. You're no match. So literally the game's dread. I mean, the Emmys are also another thing of fucking dread because you can't even do anything against them unless you get that special energy. So I think the music's perfectly fine. I think it's wonderful. I think the music is really great. Probably gonna be using some of that music right for when I'm talking and these, you know, when I'm talking in this review. So I think I've talked about all the points that I wanted to talk about. Now, what do I grade Metroid Dread? Let's see. Story, I give it a 10 out of 10. 20 out of 10 if I can. Because I just think it's really unique. They didn't really copy anything from the past games. And I think that story makes sense. And it made sense. It was awesome to play, and it was really satisfying to defeat the villain because he really had a good reason to fuck his ass up this time. So 20 out of 10. Gameplay wise, oh my god, 10 out of 10, 20 out of 10, because man, it's so fun to play this game. To me, it was already great. It was fun. I waited 19 years for Metroid Fusion. You know, Metroid Fusion is really fun. At that time, the movement was really new too, but for a 19-year wait, I wasn't expecting something this good. Honestly, like the movement's so fluid, you can do almost anything. Like, oh, and the music, 10 out of 10, because for me, at least personally, I love the music, especially Briania. But yeah, the music is really wonderful. They did an awesome job. Retro Studios, you guys did amazing. I know people always say you should credit all your workers that worked on it. I personally agree. If you guys can, at least one of these days, you know, credit everybody if possible. I think everybody would appreciate that because that's how much this game means to us. If somebody worked in only for like a day or a week, I guess it makes sense not to include them. But if it worked like more than 2 or 3 weeks on the game, then include everybody, please, because everybody is waiting for this game for such a long time. Everybody loves it. They appreciate it. This game is going to be probably either equal or above Super Metroid and replay ability and being on Twitch and people streaming it and etc. Metro Studios, please just try, at least for people, I don't know, 2 weeks or more works on the game. Give everybody credit. But so do I recommend buying the game? Go buy it. Don't even guess. If you have a Switch, go buy it. If you don't have a Switch, go buy a Switch. Go buy an OLED Switch or a regular Switch, a Switch Lite. Go play the game. It's worth the $60. It really is. And I think also because I can run on forever. This is already gonna be like a 30-40 minute video. I didn't think it was gonna be this long actually. But let me wrap it up. Quick conclusion. And then a quick recap. The story is phenomenal, awesome, really pulls you in, and the ending satisfying. 2, the gameplay is equally as awesome, really fun. You can just move around. I could just move around, not even like do the story, and I'll just have fun all day. The music awesome, it's such a vibe. I could just listen to each area, especially Britannia, and just enjoy my time in the game. Oh man, okay, this is a little bonus one. I'm sorry, I'm always doing this. The looks of the game, how it looks, for it being apparently it's not even 1080p, it's like 970p or 60p or something. Game looks really nice. It looks really good, especially for something on the Switch, especially with something with a kind of sort of a budget. It looks so great. Like honestly, it's just really breathtaking. Like sometimes I'll load up the game and just look at the scenery of some of those areas and just take it in. But yeah, I recommend this game. I'll say it again. Buy it. Go play it. There's actually a demo, so if you go try the demo, if you like the demo, buy it. Don't hesitate. This is like a really good time to get into the community. People are nice. A lot of people are joining. A lot of people are trying it. People are friendly. Go play the game. But yeah, let me try to wrap this up. If you want to see, I'm gonna wrap this up. If you want to see live streams, I live stream them. I don't have a schedule. I'm probably not ever gonna have a schedule because I'm just not that type of person. But I'll be live streaming on Twitch, SJB Eli, link in the description below. And I'll be uploading Metroid content and a lot of different stuff on my YouTube right here. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you love Metroid, comment your reason down below. Tell me. I like to interact with people, look at my past videos, I like respond to everybody. Just fun. And yeah, so it's your boy. Nah, I'm not gonna say that shit. That's all there is from me. Have a great day. And I'll see you guys next mission. Peace.